small groups, the curriculum group, the Just Walk group, and the billing and reimbursement. And the Just Walk part, I think the places that are doing Just Walk have kind of they've got it covered. They're doing it, so I don't know that we need the small group for that anymore. So we kind of haven't had that group meeting very often. So we kind of, I don't know, eliminate's not the right word, but we put it on a long hiatus. I would say. And then the billing and reimbursement, we started getting that back up and running, but then haven't gotten a whole lot of people on that, except for Dan Kane. I think maybe just doing it by himself at this point. So yeah, we're that's a little bit in the weeds. Not really sure if that's gonna keep going. We just need more folks on that group. So really, at this point, it's kind of the curriculum subgroup where we were working with the schools trying to see what we could help with on adding more physical activity education, and it's kind of morphed into this sort of lifestyle medicine education, which is already kind of a push, at least on the nutrition part. I think it's been mandated kind of by Health and Human Services. So we were thinking we'd jump on that bandwagon a little bit, and kind of one of the things we talked about at the last meeting was sort of starting this hopefully yearly. I guess it doesn't have to be yearly, but I think if it's not yearly, it kind of gets lost a bit. But maybe a lifestyle medicine conference rather than just a single speaker. And Katie and I kind of did a little brainstorm last week, but we definitely wanted to get more of a group opinion and see if we could get some of our members maybe just signing on to be part of the true planning committee, and really get it going. So some of the things that Katie put in the agenda that we kind of talked about that we really need is creating a planning committee, ideally out of the folks in the healthcare sector committee. And I think 3 would probably be a minimum, maybe 5 to 8 would be sort of a good maximum, maybe 8 maximum, maybe 5 ideal. I don't know. And then deciding, half day versus full day. I feel like maybe getting it done by noon or 1, get a lunch in there is probably what people would like, rather than sticking around till 4 or 5. I always personally feel like I get a little spaced out by the afternoon. So maybe at least starting with a half day, see how successful it is. And if it's wildly successful, I guess we could always add more. Making sure we definitely have CME and CEU credits so that we can get everybody coming and having a reason to take time off, work if it's a Friday or a Monday or whatever day. Probably not weekends. I don't know. I feel like probably no one wants to, ditch a weekend for CME, but, and then, funding, making sure that we got buy-in ideally from, kind of the 3 schools, kind of do it jointly again, because that's one of the things we're always trying to do with the KCPA plan is make it collaborative. And then timeline, maybe spring, late spring, early summer, like May, next year, if we think we can get it done that fast. And then the location, we kind of talked about maybe at least the first time doing it at the Kauffman Center, because they've been really helpful with the KCPA plan in general. It's kind of central, and they, getting food and stuff in there. We've definitely done that before, and it's not a hard thing to get done. It's a very nice facility, easy parking, all those kind of things. And then the speaker stuff. So we were kind of thinking, if we truly make it a lifestyle medicine conference, we definitely want a speaker on each of the 6 pillars. Physical activity, physical activity, nutrition, addiction, sleep, and I forgot.
Stress management.
Stress management, thank you. And there's one more, right? That was only 5.
Community.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay. So getting somebody on each one of the things, but being that it's the KCPA plan that is kind of sort of getting it started, we figured our first keynote speaker, we'd try to make physical activity someone maybe nationally recognized kind of exercise and medicine person, and then kind of local for the other parts, if we can get people coming on for that. So those are some of our just quick, 2-person brainstorms, but we obviously wanted a lot more input from a lot of other brains to storm the ideas. So yeah, I think that's, I know when we were successfully getting lots of people involved and paying attention to the group, I think the time that we had the best turnout and everything was when we had a specific project that we were all working towards. And that a while back was Dr. Jennifer Trilk, when she came and kind of went around all 3 med schools and did like one big lecture and then small little group sessions over the course of 2 days. And that was really successful. I think getting another kind of bigger project that we can really focus on and have, clear cut goals and objectives. I think it's just good for the healthcare sector in general. So yeah, Nicole, go for it.
Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt your thoughts. So I just raise, it's like otherwise my brain loses my thought. I love all the ideas. I love the things. I've already got ideas and people in my brain kind of running. Two things. One, do we think it might be advantageous to do a virtual version first to see the interest of the area? To see from a planning perspective, from a cost perspective, do we get good sign up? Do we get good engagement? And then consider in 28 doing an in-person or alternating an in-person virtual from a cost perspective of travel and stay for a speaker. It might open up the ability to access more people countrywide without having to fly them in. Just an idea. Yeah. And then I love the 6-pillar idea. My only other thing that I would love to throw in there from the KCU side that I think would be really cool would be some sort of osteopathic approach. Because I think it's always great to have that exposure if it fits somewhere. I think that would be a really great way for KCU to bring in that piece, whether that's myself or one of my peers or colleagues. I think it's always good for us to be able to share what that means. So
yeah, I think so. One of the sort of little ideas we had is maybe if we're going to do a half day, maybe you can't truly get a big solid, just plain old lecture from all 6 pillars. So maybe do the big keynote at lunch or something, so everybody can eat and it's a longer thing and everybody's kind of in the same room together. Then do a lot of smaller breakout sessions where you could do, maybe you pick three of the remaining 5, or if we had in osteopathic stuff it's a 7th. So you got 6 little breakouts, you get to pick 3, everybody kind of goes where they want to, or everybody picks their top 3 and then we put them in whatever rooms we need to, no matter what, because we've done that before. And that's worked. So we've done a sports medicine conference every year, the Young Athlete Conference, and those breakout sessions. I think everybody kind of really enjoys it. We've done various things over the years where we're we're going to do this in the afternoon and everybody go grab a beer and then go to these breakout sessions because we were out at Sporting Kansas City's park. So we could do that. We couldn't really do that at Children's Mercy.
I didn't know you offered that, and I will be looking at that now.
Well, we're not doing it at Sporting KC anymore, so that option is gone. But it worked out really good one year. Everybody's a little more talkative, a little more engaged. But so but I definitely I think the virtual versus hybrid versus in person, that was one of the things that we were wondering as well when we were talking about it last week. And what's the best answer? But as a test run, that's also a good point. So
I was thinking from we don't have a budget kind of set, since a lot of that stuff has probably happened. I was thinking that was just a thought, but again, we all know that virtual education is hit or miss, right? Depending on if you're sitting in your office and multitasking, right? So there's very much that catch-22, but it might help give us a insight into, this is really wanted and needed. And so then, that helps us do for the following year. But Dr. Cox, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm Sarah Cox. I'm a PA. That's okay. I just wanted to say that I went to the American College of Lifestyle Medicine conference, the national conference this last year. And one of the things that I really loved about it was having some options where we actually did like a fitness class. And so like it was actually well attended. And I will tell you that I just got certified in jazzercise. So perhaps I could lead a session.
That would be fun.
But I think having maybe even an option for that, either at the beginning or the end, because it is physical activity, would be something. And then I was also thinking about my PA students, getting them involved somehow, because, you know, I'm integrating the lifestyle medicine curriculum throughout our didactic 16-month program or 29-month program, but my didactic phase. So I was just kind of thinking, I'm like, my wheels are turning. So
we have a Tai Chi certified instructor at KCU as well. And then I know a lot of the people who are affiliated with Dance Fit Flow. So I might, and I was actually on the Kansas City Comets cheerleaders at one point. So, I mean, I have connections to them as well. If we need to pull that, that would potentially be a good opportunity for them or one of their dancers to teach or something as well. If we wanted to offer like multiple different styles or throughout the next coming years.
Yeah, fun. Katie. Oh, you're still on mute.
Maybe now?
Yes.
Okay, great. So Sarah, I love the idea of including students. I know that Jay and I discussed that as well, and including them in some kind of capacity, whether we like, again, if this was a full day conference, I think it'd be really easy to incorporate them, like have poster sessions, something like that. So I love that idea, and I think we could make it happen. I want to go back to the idea of a virtual session. I love that. I think it's way more feasible. And if we have our first lifestyle medicine conference be that keynote as a virtual, I think setting up the in-person conference later will be, it'll help gain traction so we can justify the funding cost. Because I already plan to talk to the philanthropy department over at Children's Mercy. Just so you all know, like we do have like this written down. We are pursuing these options still. I think that's it.
I love the idea of the posters. I don't know if with like as trying to develop a committee, would we need a separate like research committee to like vet the posters and like decide who's going to present and that kind of thing? Or would it be open to like, I don't know if, as my mom always likes to say, putting 10 pounds of things in a 5-pound bag, right? Like, you know, are we doing, is that I guess what is our goal like for the short term versus the long term, I guess?
Yeah. I mean, my personal goal would just be to get people excited about it and coming. That's the main initial goal. And if it becomes a thing that's sustainable, then I think, you know, posters and projects and maybe little, you know, just podium presentations about, you know, a physical activity program or a nutrition program that is happening. And it doesn't even have to be like, you know, like the standard doctor stuff where you get quizzed by a panel right after you give your little talk. It could be just, hey, this is what we're doing. Like these are little cool things in the community. You know, even that simple. But yeah, I mean, yeah, the step one, I think, just see if we can even do it. So the virtual part does make sense. I agree, makes sense for that. Might be a good step one. And you know, I guess the thing about a virtual, I don't really think I've sat on for like 4 straight hours on a virtual thing and really been engaged ever. So I don't know if that should be like a single speaker first time. I don't know. That's just my personal bias there, because I definitely space out after an hour.
Well, we can still offer a
Online.
hybrid option.
Yeah.
So if we wanted the keynote, the national speaker to just present virtually to help it with cost, and then we go
Yeah.
ahead and do breakout sessions with our local regional experts instead, that's also an option. And I also, one of the other things Jay and I discussed was organizations obviously to engage with, to invite to this, including the American College of Lifestyle Medicine, and then AMSSM, which is the American Medical Society for Sports Medicine, and the American Academy of Family Physicians. So hoping to also gain interest from them. Yeah.
Can I add AOASM to that list, please? That's the
Yes.
American Academy of the American Osteopathic Association of Sports Medicine.
Yeah.
And then the immediate past president of the American College of Osteopathic Family Practice is our current interim dean. So I think including ACOFP as well would be advantageous. And on the Missouri ACOFP committee is my peer who's will be president in the next couple of years. So she's on that board as well. So I think those would be other good ones. And you said AAFP, was that the American Academy of Family Practice? Yeah. So
Yeah,
they're
housed in town.
correct. Yeah. So way
Which is
easy.
kinda nice.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I think if we're gonna, if we don't mind including those, the ACOFP and AOASM as well, I think that would be awesome.
Yeah, if there's, the Kansas and Missouri associations of family
Mhm.
practice, osteopathic,
Yeah.
whatever. If they can get our flyer on
Yeah.
an email list, boom, done.
I'm on the social media committee for
there you
AOASM and know the current president is my program director from Sports Fellowship. So I have the connections to those two very
Nice.
easily for ACOFP, MSA-COFP, and AOASM. So
Okay, you got all the acronyms.
all the things, just so happens when you're involved. And then if you are interested, I don't know how much it would tie, and I don't know if they would want to collaborate yet, but I'm also on the education committee for AAO, which is the American Academy of Osteopathy. So down the
Nice.
road, we may be able to tie them in as well as a sponsor from a CME perspective or things like that. So
awesome. Yeah. Well, yeah, I was hoping to have a few other voices tell us what they think, but I don't know. This is good. I mean, sometimes it's better to be small and just get some ideas. Katie.
Well, I mean, even though this, our attendance for this is small, we can still follow up with the entire group. And I mean, one of the things I had on the agenda is create a purpose for this conference in 2 weeks and have it reviewed, and we can send that out. And as well as perhaps a small survey asking who would want to be a part of the planning committee. So there's still,
yes.
Sarah, you have your hand raised.
Oh, the only thing that I wanted to say from a curriculum perspective and involvement perspective is that when you said May timeframe, that was oh, that's a terrible time. So I think if we wanted to do it, I don't know, we'd have to look at the timing, and I'm not on the planning committee. I just know that May can be just, it's just a rough time because of the end of the school year.
Just
also
busy.
Yeah, it's just very, very busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought about that a little bit too. I mean, I know there's 12 national conferences in April and May between a lot of different things. So I'm just, I think maybe a perfect time truly would be February because nothing seems to be going on. And the only downside of that is that seems really close. And sometimes the weather can just totally screw up all of your plans. If it's a Kansas City ice storm, oh, there goes the conference. So
I would say June sounds like a good time potentially
Okay.
because that is at least like if it's early June, right before residencies and fellows are transitioning, right? So from the thinking of the
Yeah.
ACGME side, but from at least from a student perspective, like graduation's over. I know in May our faculty are pretty much busy for 3-ish straight weeks because we have our transition to clerkship course, which is like running every day, all day. So I would agree that like before or after. I agree. I think it's like February and June are probably like your most ideal months. Um, and then I was gonna say, I think if we send out like a survey of interest, I think it would, I don't know what you guys think would be a good question, but to maybe ask like, what do you think about a virtual like initial for our initial conference being, all virtual, virtual hybrid, or in person only, or something like that.
Yeah.
Might be a good question. And then that way you're getting the opinions too for whomever is on the planning committee for that.
Yeah, I think that's a good question. I think we should probably also put on that survey, do you think your institution could partially fund this? I think it's probably going to take again, trying to be collaborative, want it to be collaborative. Maybe, institutions pitching in a little bit. Then no one's totally on the hook. But
is that something you would want? Again, I'm part of like the nutrition like work group. I'm one of the co-chairs. So like is that something you'd want me to like reach out and ask now? Or would you rather wait until the planning committee kind of has started to develop what costs might be?
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess the sooner the better. Katie,
Yeah.
you got an opinion on that?
I mean, I agree with you. I just feel like having some kind of better concrete plan
Yeah.
so that also makes more sense. I personally think that perhaps having the planning committee already put together before we start requesting funds would be
Yeah.
more ideal.
And then, the other thing we could do, and Katie, just within the KCPA plan group, I mean, some of the things that would probably cost money, like what, say, 100 people lunch would cost, and what renting the coffin space would cost, and some basic, like, not super negotiable numbers would be anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I do because I also put together a quarterly meeting. So if I
Right.
were to base it off of that kind of number, and with our agreement with the Kaufman, it really is just all you're paying for is food. The room cost is free.
Okay.
It's just
That's
making
helpful.
sure we can book enough rooms for breakout sessions.
Right.
So I know for around 45 people, you're looking at $700. So
Okay.
I guess we also would need to figure out like if we're
And then
estimating a cap
CME,
for,
Yeah.
yeah. So there's a
CME,
lot of
CEUs.
things to consider, but I think it's possible. Absolutely.
Yeah. And then I mean, each institution's got their CME, CEU group that kind of handles that. And, I don't know, there might be something cheaper through AFP versus AAP or I mean, I guess whatever organization gives us the best CME rate would be ideal. I don't know. I don't know if there is a difference, honestly. I feel like there is, but because I feel like everything in pediatrics costs more than it should. But yeah, go ahead, Nicole.
That might be something too from a CME side, again, once we kind of have the planning committee and who's thinking of what, where if we're looking at AMA versus AOA credits, that might be something too, where like if two institutions compare together or how that looks as well. I mean, I can upload it if it's just AMA credits. It's not hard to do. It's just something else to throw out there if we're looking at all three institutions. And then obviously I would assume that Sarah is the PA or other, like if we included the athletic trainer associations, like is that, I assume that's a different type of CE or credit?
Well, for me, I can use the AMA credits
Oh.
or any of the physician credits if they're offered.
Cool.
Nice. Yeah, I know nursing, PT, PA, those kind of things, sorry, AT, PT, nursing. They always are different when we're doing the young athlete conference, but yeah, I don't know. I just know that the CME is always the most expensive of all of them. So, but again, if people are taking time off and it's a true CME thing, then we potentially charge too. I mean, you gotta put the money and then get reimbursed. But if each one of the institutions is joining in, then you would assume they would also make it free for their employees or super discounted for their employees, hopefully.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
But I think a reasonable cost, like I know that KU does that. I don't know how much if you guys charge for your young athlete one, but I mean KU does one that's sports, that's like the adult in April timeframe, and it's like not that expensive. It's like $100 or $200 for as a physician. So I feel like, if it was an X amount of price for a student, if we had to charge, $20 if you're a student or something like that, something just to say you paid for it to get the credit. And then physicians were even $100. I mean, I would drop $100, no problem, to support to have funds also for speakers in the future and things like that too. So,
So, I mean, I think, so, okay, set up a planning committee. And within that group, pick a date. So send out, basically, I guess we can just send out a survey with most of the things that we had on the kind of idea list and see what everybody wants to do, and then try to get some volunteers for running it.
Quick question for
Yes.
this group. So this is considered the overall healthcare sector meeting. We do have a curriculum meeting in September, which we had discussed, like either the planning committee would take over essentially the entire healthcare sector meeting or the curriculum group. So do we want to still have this curriculum group meeting on the 8th or not? Because we could go ahead and host it and see if anybody else attends, and we can bring this topic back up again, or we can just cancel it and send out a survey.
I think basically turning it into the planning committee makes the most sense. So maybe we can try to target that as the first planning committee meeting after the survey.
I mean, it's on the calendar. It's September 8th.
Yeah, I mean,
11 o'clock. It's on a Tuesday.
I don't know that I get invited to those ones because I think you just have me in the healthcare sector. But if you wanted to add me to that, I would be happy to.
Yeah, absolutely. I will make note to double check when I get home when my internet is stable.
Okay. Do we think we could put together a little survey by the end of the week? Is it that I've never made a survey. I don't know how hard that is.
Yeah, absolutely. Does anybody on this meeting want to review it first? Jay, would you like to review it prior to sending out?
Yeah. I can look it over with you.
Okay, then I will send it to you by the end of the week. I'll probably use Microsoft Forms. I feel like it's easier to put something together through that. Okay.
Whatever is easiest for you. I personally don't care because I've never done a survey before that I know of. Done some.
Well, our only other
time to meet surveys,
options are, I mean, I can use RedCap or Qualtrics, but like really those aren't necessary for a survey, like in this context. So, okay. Cool.
And
I think we have a game.
Sarah or Nicole, do either of you for sure want to be on the planning committee by any chance? Awesome. Okay.
And I know Dr. Elledge is interested. She just is preparing. She's got her second lectures of teaching all together tomorrow. So she was prepping and had some other meetings this morning. So I know she's potentially interested, at least in lecturing or being involved, however she can be, or at least as long as one of us is representative. So.
I mean, I think one of my goals for the planning committee would be that we have somebody from at least KU, UMKC, and KCU on
Totally.
there. Maybe we can get some other, like, you know, HCA or somebody from one of those hospital groups on. That'd be really great too. I think, just get in front of as many eyeballs as possible.
No. I know one of the program directors for family medicine is a KCU alumni. She's at HCA Lee Summit. I might be able to, I know one of our faculty, he precepts at the HCA program, the Research Goppert program. So I might be able to see if he has anyone interested or faculty that maybe are interested in being involved. Once, we kind of are more evolving and deciding if we want more, who we want and more parties in play.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. So survey, hopefully have a little small group planning committee ready for early September and see where we think we can go from there. Cool. All right. That was the real big thing that Katie and I wanted to go over today. I know you had on that we got our next Healthy Lifestyles quarterly meeting on September 10th at 9 a.m. And what did you say that was? Children's Mercy Community Health Needs Assessment and Implementation Strategies. So we're going over the survey that they finished last year, and now we have it in brochure form. Katie pulled it up to show me the other day.
I don't know if anybody attended the Children's Health Summit. I believe it was last month. This is around that. So Austin Strausel will be presenting on the data as well as implementation strategies. That's all the information I have right now. So it's still early, but at least we have a topic.
Yeah, it's always a pretty interesting bit of data on those things. You can glean a lot of other info from them.
Katie, what is the oh, I apologize. I'm somehow logged in under my my Sano, not KCU email. Is that link to that meeting for the 10th? Is that what the link is that you just sent?
Yes, it's a registration form. So when you register, you will have an option to either select in person or virtual. If you select virtual, you will be sent a calendar invite with a virtual link. If you do select in person, you'll get the address. So,
Perfect.
Okay. Okay.
Did we talk about that last time? You work at Sano too? Is it Sano or Sano?
Yes. I don't know. I've heard both.
Okay.
So the way KCU is, the way we are, since we don't obviously have like an affiliate hospital system, we're all, for lack of a better term, I am full-time employed, benefits, all my paycheck comes from KCU. I am essentially leased to Sano for my clinic. So as is, we have someone at KC Care, we have someone at Swope. One of our surgeons, he just recently left because of his wife got a new job out of state, so he had to leave. But he was at Sano. So we have someone who's at the detention center for pediatrics. So we are all basically leased, and then there's a contract between KCU and that organization where we're paid for our time basically in clinic. So that's where I do my clinic time.
Okay. Well, Matt Daggett and I have known each other forever. We were actually his dad and my dad and his uncle were all friends like in high school. In grade school, I think, actually.
Crazy. Small world.
Yeah, but Matt and I were both like fraternity presidents at Mizzou at the same time, and
I love that.
his wife is Theta, my wife was Theta. My brother was in his fraternity, all that stuff. So and then and then Michael Schwarzer was my athletic trainer in clinic forever.
Okay.
And I was so sad when he left, but you guys are very
him.
lucky. He's awesome. He's so good. He's
awesome. My saving grace a lot, because being there only a day a week, I live in a little bit of a weird bubble where like sometimes I have to do the Sano requirements, sometimes I don't, so he's like my saving grace when I'm like, Michael, what am I supposed to do? So but I worked with Dr. Daggett when I was a student. So him and Dr. Whitty, I worked with them, and Joe Whetstone from who's part of Sano as well. I worked with them all when I was a student at KCU. And then kind of when I came back, I was like, I want to do MSK. And they were like, great. So
Awesome. Good
Yeah.
deal. Yeah, that's a good group over there. So
Yeah.
it's good group of people to be with.
absolutely.
All right. Yeah. Sorry, that was just a little aside. Yeah, I don't really have anything else though for this particular meeting. Katie, I think we had everything on the agenda. Didn't really see
Yeah.
anything else. So
I
What
think
you got?
moving forward, just to also help organize with the planning committee, I'll probably create another group. So we have a SharePoint folder to access all files, and I'll share that with you, Sarah and Nicole, and obviously you, Jay, to help start. And I'll put the survey in there too. So if any of you want to look at it prior to sending it out, it'll be available. And I've already also created a draft for like the purpose of a lifestyle medicine regional conference.
Cool.
So, and a list of guest speakers regionally, those who fall within the 6 pillars. So I'll have all of that information if anybody would like to take a look while we continue to put together our committee.
Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's all I have.
All right. Well, we'll get everybody back to their real jobs, and it's nice talking with everybody. And hopefully, we'll see you all and some other folks on September 8th for